Hey guys, it's Sonia taking a swig over here. Got some Gatorade. I had to get some Gatorade. Matt was like, let's go on a ride. I'm like a dog. Matt says, hey, do you want to take a ride with me? And I'm like, yep, absolutely. We're going to go for AC and we're going to go for cold beverages. So it's another hot one here in Lake Erie, Pennsylvania. Today the shop is closed, the physical shop, which is really nice. I'm able to get a lot of stuff done behind the scenes. Just doing a lot of cleaning today between projects, and wanted to get just a lot of stuff done, a lot of organization that I've not gotten to. So today is a good day. Hey Rose, Cindy's on here. Lindy, is it Lindy or Linda? How you pronounce it? Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much for passing it along. Yes. So I am daily live at 2. Okay. So yeah, if you enjoy chatting, hanging out, getting some inspiration, I am back to furniture painting. Yes. I am back to making Junk Monkey paint again. Yes, with my husband Matt. Actually today, once I get probably on the other side of this live, I know he's going to make us some cucumber salad, and he's going to put it in the fridge, and it's going to get chilled, and it's going to be great for supper. But in between eating and finishing up this project, which I'll show you that I'm working on right now, I'm going to play with a new green of Junk Monkey paint. Somebody wrote on one of my videos today, is this your old paint? Yeah, this is our old paint recipe. So I've been painting and flipping furniture. I'm getting ready to kind of create a whole section of my shop back to flipping furniture again for profit. And as you can see by the puffin behind me and the jellyfish, I just came back from travels to the island where I'm from, left feeling very inspired, also really missing my home. And so I am working hard to flip furniture to raise money so that I can buy a home back on the island. And enjoy both sides of the border, and it's going to be wonderful. So that's the plan. But as part of that, with making Junk Monkey paint for myself, I've been putting the call out there, and I'm listening to your comments. We're going to make a decision over the next few days here now at this point. We've been reviewing people's comments, seeing kind of, who's around, who's showing up, who's saying hello. So if you're somebody who's watching, please take a moment to write something in the comments below, because it means a lot. It means the difference of Junk Monkey paint being kept for myself or being shared with the world. We put a pause on our paint making to share with the masses because just, things change, right? Conditions changed here in the last few years, and I know you feel it and you see it as well. We did as well as a small business, as a small paint company. So we had to do what we had to do, right? So at this point, let us know if you're interested in seeing it come back for the masses. I'm just kind of putting my feelers out there. So when I make a big bucket, somebody saw me painting with this bucket yesterday, and they're like, is that your paint? Oh yeah, that's my paint. That's my Junk Monkey paint. Now, do I serve it up in batches and create a website and put it out there? Let me know if I should go through that process and that work. When we first started Junk Monkey paint, this is truly how it started. If you remember back in the days of Junk Monkey, of Sonia Shabby Chic, when we first started, I would paint furniture, and my shop was just a store with painted furniture. And people would come in and they say, oh my gosh, I love your finish. Like, what paint did you use? And I would always say, oh, it's no paint. Like I literally would say, it's like no brand paint. It's stuff that we make ourselves, me and my husband. We put our brains together, and he makes paint for me, and I get it to the point of the way I like to paint with, and that's what I produce my shop with. Because at the time I couldn't afford a brand name of paints that were out there. Left empty-handed. Who remembers that story of the time that I found this paint, and I went to I drove 45 minutes away. Matt drove me because I didn't even know how to get there because I had just moved here from Canada, and he took me to the store. We found the store, and I went in, and I couldn't afford not one color. And on top of the color, I would have needed like the sealer, and then, it was like a whole system. It needed the certain brush, which I have determined for myself over the past few years that, yes, you can have certain brushes, but I have some of my favorites, and guys, they don't break the bank, I'm telling you, right? So I think the paint's the most important thing, and everything else, right? The tools, just find the ones that work for you. And I've shared with you guys along the way what's worked for me. But I've always flipped furniture on a budget, on a dime. And that's what I'm doing right now. I believe that furniture is a currency, that we all swap it every single day. And like this morning, I'm cleaning out. I just put my first thing on Facebook Marketplace in a very long time. It wasn't one of my painted pieces. I haven't gotten them just ready. Maybe a little bit later today I will. But I have an old clothing rack, and I'm like, you know what? I just feel like it's taking up too much space. I have a different way to lay out some clothes in my store, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it up for sale. I haven't checked back yet to see if I have any messages. But, you know, just relearning myself of like, how do you post on Facebook Marketplace again? I got to remind myself, it's been a long time. But the truth is that when you put stuff on Facebook Marketplace online like that, there's always people on the other side, right? That's checking it. And I've already actually sold a lot of stuff, just general stuff, not painted stuff, but stuff that I've been trying to like weed out and clear out and be like, I've been holding on this forever. Do I really need to keep it? I don't. Let me post it. And somebody comes in. I just sold like 2 ladders. I would say probably like maybe, I don't know, in the last month to 2 months. And I have a ton of wooden ladders that I bought. And I decided to part with a couple of them. And, you know, the guy came in and picked them up and he was super happy. And I'm like, wow. And he was saying how hard it was to find authentic barn ladders anymore, the old stuff. But I didn't price it like at a crazy amount. He said that when he saw my listing, and I had a ton of people message about it, that, you know, the price wasn't break the bank. It was like, wow, this is great. So that's kind of how I've always been. That's how I personally buy. And, you know, so when I paint something, I put it out to the world, I go, how much would I pay for this? Like, what? That's where I want to be, right? That is who I am. And that is, I'm just somebody who loves to scrap. I love to junk. And I love to create beautiful places, but do it without literally, with not a lot of money, right? And that's how it started. So let me know, because right now is an important time if you want to see the Junk Monkey paint come back. Do I make it in buckets for myself and just paint and share like as my kind of daily journal log as I go of what I'm painting, what I paid for it, picking it up, thrifting it, and putting it out for sale? Or would you like to see a Junk Monkey paint website come back up, where the colors that I'm painting with and working with, that you can enjoy them as well? I started to say how when we started Junk Monkey, in that space of my Sonia's Shabby Shop, and it was all finished painted furniture, and people would ask me about the paint, and I'd say, oh, it's no brand name paint, it's my paint, right? And little did I know that, you know, people started asking, would you share your paints? And I'm like, I guess I could. I'll put it in a few mason jars. And went out, and we were going to a lot of auctions at that time, and I bought this vintage suitcase set. And I took one of the suitcases and I opened it up in the corner, and it was all like silky and really old vintagey stained inside, but it was beautiful. One of those blue case ones, I could still see it in my mind's eye. And it was in the corner, and I just kind of like draped some, I don't know, little flags on it or something like that. And I would go and, you know, when I made a big bucket of paint like this with Matt, I would fill up mason jars, and I would just dab the color on the top and put it in that suitcase, and people would come in. And they weren't there they were there to, sometimes they bought the furniture that I'd done, but there was a whole group of people that came in, and they just came in for the paint, and it was still supporting me. It was wonderful either way. And that is when I learned that there are people that love to buy furniture as is, completely done, and then there are people that love to paint their own furniture as well. So tell me if you're a furniture painter, if you get that joy. I don't know about you, but now just felt like the right time to step back into it for multiple reasons. But if you're like me and you're just craving like a slower life, getting back into doing something that you love, that maybe you've put on the side for a long period of time, right? So just stepping back into the things that really bring you joy. So that's kind of where I'm at. And look at me. I pulled out my Goonies shirt this morning. Never say die. Goonies never say die. Junk Monkeys never say die, right? Tell me, hashtag me and a bunch if you're out there. I did hear, I think, that they're going to possibly make a new Goonies movie. Did I dream that? I feel like I saw something's coming. And I know that some people are like, I don't know if it's a new movie, you know, because the old one's perfect. Yeah, but I kind of like something that keeps something alive, because then I'll go back and watch number 1 again, and then I'd watch number 2, and I'm okay with that. I can separate the two in my brain. It won't ruin anything for me. Tell me if you're somebody that like new remakes, if it just completely just like makes you mad and you're like, no, I refuse to see it, because there are some people like that. I learned that with Beetlejuice, I think, was the one I learned that with. Even here at the shop, I realized, oh my gosh, I should not say that to people. We went to see the newest Beetlejuice movie in theater, and I loved it. It was great, right? As is, standalone. It was just so nice to see just like a little retake, a little rehash, you know, not a little hit of something that you absolutely love in your life. And I would say to people, did you see the new movie yet? And they're like, no. And I'm like, I detect a little anger. No, I refuse to see it. The first one, no, I don't like when they redo movies. And I'm like, back away. All right, let's just talk about the weather. Hey, Pam, Judy, Rebecca, how are you? She says, Sonia with a purple heart. Rebecca with a purple heart back at you. I spoke your name yesterday, I think it was, on my live. I don't know if you caught it or not, but I saw after one of my lives this week. I am live daily at 2 p.m., okay? 2 p.m. So check back. Tell me if you're watching on replay or you're watching live. And a lot of you guys catch it after the fact. But Rebecca, I posted, or I spoke about you yesterday. Your ears might have been ringing or tingling. What did they say when your ears are itchy? Somebody else is thinking about you? How does that go? My grandmother used to always say that. But I was talking about how sometimes when you buy furniture, you know, you find the randomness of stuff inside of it. And you had said, and I didn't see it until after I got it at the thrift store the other night. I'm talking way too fast now. Tell I'm excited. That tell us the story in the comments. Did you say that somebody in your hometown or near you, where you are in New York, a thrift store, they found, somebody bought a piece of furniture, did I get this right, and found $45,000? Tell me more. I would love to know this story. I think that'd be so cool. So this is, I know, right? 1,000,000,000% humidity. I know. I just went out for Gatorade. I'm feeling better because I had to get some electrolytes. So this is what I've been working on this morning. Stencil Sonia back in the house. And so this lovely little piece here. This is what it looks like if you can see it. So I tend to do distressed, cozy, windswept, whatever you want to call it. I just love that vibe. That's just who I am. And so I stay true to who I am. So if somebody out there is like, oh my gosh, girl, why you distress the edges? It's just because of who I am. You do you, boo, okay? You can do full coat, whatever you want. But on here, you're going to see me do a lot of distress. So, but then I distressed it. There was green paint on this piece. By the way, I've already sealed it. Now I'm working it with, so I've already got poly on here. And so the wax is the last step that I do because this will seal. So I got to give it 24 hours. But the top of it, there's green paint coming through. There's all these kind of nicks and knacks. I don't know, just all over the place. And I'm like, you know what? It's perfectly imperfect, just like all of us. None of us are perfect, right? But we're going to embrace that because all those little scrapes and marks, all the surgery parts, everything, that's just all part of the story. And I'm not somebody who tries to hide the story. I allow the story to come through, if that makes sense. Tell me yes if you understand what I'm saying. You're picking up what I'm laying down. So what I'm going to do now is continue to work because I've only worked the top of it up here. But I kind of like that because that little overlay right there, let's see here. So you saw the top, right? So I'm just going to keep working because this is the only part that I have right here. Got my fan on. I'm going to let this cure. But I think that's cool to just do like a dark color, which by the way, my first bunches of paints are probably going to be pretty like dark and moody because that's just how I'm feeling. Like I love this look of dark background. And then just like some really cool faded overlays and stuff like that. That's kind of what I'm loving right now. So as I build up my furniture stockpile, I'm going to start with some classic colors and then move into some fun colors and light colors and all that good stuff. Tell me what you're loving to paint with right now. Christy says, beautiful. Thank you very much. She is gorgeous, isn't she? I'm pretty happy with that. So that's what I'm going to do now is just kind of put it here and I'll show you how it comes to life. You guys see that? All you need is a finger and some wax. That's literally, tell me that we were not born with everything that we need. Seriously, people sign like at the front when they're checking out. You don't need no stinking stylus. You know, use that finger, that stylus you were born with, friend. It is Monday, and Oh, I like that in here. Just a little bit. Not too much, but maybe just a little bit of that in here. It's hot. I don't know how many times we can say at this point that it's hot. I'm kind of getting sick of myself just saying it. Tell me if you like it. Tell me if you like it. Teresa says, absolutely love that top. Great job. Oh, thank you very much. Kim says, hello from Lissy, loving the table. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. So it's kind of fun too, on top of the distressing, especially when you're working with a lot of old furniture. Listen, I have done it and I really don't want to do it again. This is like volume 2 of Junk Monkey, and we're doing what we want to do right now. And but in the past, I've gotten myself into scenarios where I'm like fixing tables and I'm puttying tables, and I'm like, you know, I just want to paint. Just give me a piece. I really don't want to fix it. That's just not my forte. That's not my superpower. But I will take what it is and I will make something beautiful out of it. You know, it's like growing up my mother, you know, regardless, whether company randomly showed up or not, she always could somehow just create something out of the pantry. And I'm like, wow, okay, we got enough to feed us all. So that's kind of how I feel with furniture. It's like, just give it to me as it is, imperfections and all. We are not going to like be going out and trying to solve things and being way too extra. We're just gonna love it as it is and make good with what we've got. Because it gets expensive and it gets overwhelming. And I'm sorry, but I just don't like that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Do you see the difference on camera it makes when you put in some highlights? And I'm just running the edges with my fingers. Tell me as well if you think that if, in a perfect world, the Junk Monkey returns on its very own website. The paint's available again for everybody. If you'd like to see me add all the waxes as well. Do you enjoy putting highlights on your piece? I think that's so pretty. Like, look at the difference it makes, right? Cindy, I'm using Junk Monkey paint. Is that what you're talking about? People have been asking me if it's sour paint. It is. I'm going to do some of these pillars. I've got a gorgeous round table that I want to get to. Look at me. I'm like one leg over to the other leg. Because I can't help myself. We're hopping around here everywhere. So last night we went out and we had pizza. Me and Matt kind of just took a drive. We do that though. We just, when it's hot, just get in the vehicle, go for a drive, go sightsee. We do like the drive, as you guys know. We don't mind driving. Like I said, 3 days to Canada. We got this. All right, so that's everything right there, kind of on that side. Sometimes I also use like that piece back there. Actually, can you guys see the ducks and stuff back there? I don't think you can, right? I go ahead and I put some of the copper wax, like, and kind of do dust, little dustings and stuff. So there we go. So now you can see that side, but look how much nicer it looks. You ready? Don't ruin it. Not pretty. So I've done a bunch of tables kind of similar to this. By the way, for this table, I paid, and for the other table behind me, if you can see it, I paid, I think, $35 for it, between $25 and $35. And I thought that was a good price for an antique table. I'm gonna rub a little bit of that in here. She's on cardboard, so she's not stable. All that beading, so pretty. But yeah, we went out last night and we had pizzas. Mondays the shop is closed, so it's nice. It's very nice because it's peoply out there. And, you know, you get a little bit of a break today. But I like that in the center. That's fun. Look at that. I have to do that with all the legs. The highlight right there. That's pretty. But I had pineapple on my pizza last night. And I posted it on my personal socials. I was surprised how many people came out of the woodwork just randomly and said, yes, you know, I love pineapple pizza too, because it too is a controversy. Controversy. What do we think? Do we like that? Oh, I love it. So now it's matching my top. Wow. Rebecca, you love it? Pineapple on pizza? Oh, it's so good. But you know what? We were having this conversation last night, and I was talking about that to Matt, and he's like, no, because he's not. He's an avid pineapple is gross on pizza. I think otherwise. Plus, you know, you're getting some fruit, so it's all good. But he said, you know, it's like, it is like, one thing that I cannot stand is I just find it so weird when people put peanut butter in food. Like anything peanut buttery into like a peanut sauce and stuff like that. I just feel like peanut butter belongs on toast and like dessert. So I find it really like it will, I don't know, it will activate some reflux inside of me that's like, I don't want no peanut sauce noodles. It's like putting peanut butter in your noodles. Like, that's not right. To which Matt said, and if he was here, I told him he's going to have to join us for a live. Because when I'm live, he's working the store. So, you know, one of us got to be out there. But if I do a nighttime, Junk Monkey After Dark, who's up late? Are you up late? Is everybody going to bed early now? You'll have to let me know. But that was a conversation like cannot do peanut butter, peanut foods. That's weird. So he was trying to say that just like people like peanut butter, peanut noodles, and peanut sauce type stuff, you don't. That's the way he feels about pineapple. That's pretty. Now on my furniture that I have for displays in the shop, people have been asking me forever if I would sell them. I'm like, no, I have stuff that's my displays. These are pieces that are not being used and I've had, and I just haven't gotten to do anything with them yet. Now I'll be able to say, yes, you too can have the same look. Isn't that pretty? It gives it such... Peanut butter with maple syrup on pancakes is awesome. That sounds good. See, because it's got that cakiness, right? I'm here for dessert, peanut butter desserts. But it's like stuff like, I don't know, peanut sauces that people use in actual main courses. If you get that, please don't invite me over. Like, don't invite me that day. When you get pineapple pizza, I'll be okay with that. Put a little bit right here. Use that finger you were born with. Just to think that you were born with 8 paintbrushes already. I mean, how amazing is that, right? So I do think it's cool to put some highlights, because everything is, you know, you look through everything in nature. It's not one solid color. Even flowers, they're all different shades. Do I have one more side? I guess I do. Right here. Let's get this side right here. You know, I forgot how much... Hey, Nancy! I forgot how much work painting furniture is. how you get the guns, ladies. Just saying. Just saying. All right. That's how you get tone. Next thing you know, you're lifting furniture above your head. You don't even wait for your husband to come. Tell me if you know this to be true and if you've experienced this. I guess we'll call her done there. Now we just are patient. We see like a little bit of the trim is missing right here. I don't care. I'm not going to draw attention to that. I'm going to put my highlights over here. Look over here. But yeah, I am just not the person that really, I love the piece without it having to be perfect because it's old. Let it show character. You don't need to putty everything. Come on. We're all showing a little character. Why wouldn't we expect our furniture, right? Well, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Okay, final looks. Final looks. So yeah, I let the green paint that was on it come through it a few places on the edges. I think she's pretty nice. I'm going to give her a spin so you can really see her in all her glory. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. She's got all this gorgeous antiquing. I did Julie, and I actually filmed it. If you want me to post it, let me know. I will. So I did this morning when I got up. I was still in my pajamas. And I had this idea when I came in, I looked at this. So what I've been doing is in the evenings, I will poly my piece. And you know when you're working with poly that you have to be very patient with it. So what I have found is if I paint multiple pieces during the day, I sand them, I distress them, I kind of get them ready to seal in and take that picture with my poly. Then at night I come back and I go over them all with poly. And then I will leave them, wash my brush, leave the building. And when I come back in tomorrow morning, everything is set and dried, and then all that kind of like, sometimes you can get milkiness if you touch your poly too much. It just all sets up really, really nice. So this is all sealed. And this wax that I used today will actually just harden and be part of it. So that's beautiful. If I wanted to, I could go over it again with another coat of poly. I don't necessarily need to. I'll make that call probably in 24 hours. But I've just got to let this sit up now and dry, and then she's perfect as is, right? So nice. So what I'm going to do is find a space where I kind of like stage all the different furniture pieces, all different layers, and I think it'll be a nice when people walk through my store doors, they'll be like, whoo, all right, big pile of furniture there. So that's what I'm up to, but I am off right now to make a new color of Junk Monkey. So make sure you listen to the entire video and weigh in with your thoughts on if you're somebody who would love to get your hands on some Junk Monkey again, let me know. But yeah, pretty cool. I'm very happy with that. All right, friends, you take care. Have a great day. Remember, happiness is in your pocket. Do something that brings you joy today. Bye.